everyone, and welcome to Spotlight New Jersey. I'm Sally Ann Mosey, and for my friend and colleague Della Cruz. And today we are putting the spotlight on a company that originated in Manalapan, but boy, is it growing quickly, and it's spread to several states already. It's called the Max Challenge, and I actually took the challenge. Before we get to my before and after pictures, let me introduce you to Brian Klein. He's the originator of the Max Challenge. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
What is exactly the Max Challenge?
So the Max Challenge is different than any fitness program that's out there, mainly because we combine fitness classes with motivation and nutrition to help people make amazing changes, not just to their appearance, but to the way that they feel inside. We call it fitness for the mind, body, and spirit.
And it's like a challenge, like you do in many places. You have a start time and an end time. This is how long?
Well, people start off with a 10-week challenge, and in that time we introduce them not only to exercise, but a healthy way of living, nutrition.
What we're looking at here is an Olympics that comes up eventually. This isn't actually the Max Challenge itself. Tell us about this.
So a big part of what we do in the Max Challenge is giving back to our community. And people come in because they want to look better, but they really find great friendships, and that they get so much more out of it. So every year we give back to the community by rallying together as an organization. Usually about 1,000 or more Maxers from around the state come together, and all the proceeds from the event go to a charity for that year that we choose.
Talk a little bit about this Max Challenge. It's not just nutrition, and you know, it's not easy to lose weight, we all know that, but this has a different element to it. Does it actually change your metabolism? I'm wondering that because a lot of weight loss places talk about it.
Sure. So what we advocate to our members right from the start is to eat 6 small meals a day to help ramp up their metabolism. And it's really about introducing discipline into people's daily lifestyle and into their nutrition. And what that does is it ramps up the metabolism. And they
start to get on a real regimen of things
start
to do,
get
right?
Start to get on a regimen and begin to lose weight because their metabolism ramps up, and as the program progresses, the nutrition changes along with that.
I noticed that because I did take the challenge, and I was worried about being a little bit hungry at the beginning, but you actually have how many proteins, how many carbs, how many fats. It's a real education. I didn't know avocado was an actual fat. I thought it was a fruit.
Yeah.
A lot of people find the same thing?
Of course. I mean, people today don't really know what to do as far as nutrition is concerned, and that's why this is such an amazing, amazing life changer for so many people.
How old do you have to be? We're seeing some video of full families there. I mean, do you have an age group?
Well, most of our members are between the ages of 35 and 55, but there's members of all different ages. We've got members actually as young as 15, and people all the way up into their 70s. I think our oldest member right now is actually 79 years old.
Now, it's an interesting concept, but where did it come from? You all of a sudden said, wow, I want to come up with an idea of losing weight and getting my mind to the right spot?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. So for myself, I gained a lot of weight during a difficult time in my life. And when I finally decided to get back into shape and to take the weight off, I hired a personal trainer, I hired a nutritionist, I went to the gym every single day. But day after day, I just walked into the gym, walked out of the gym, day after day, week after week, month after month, and I looked exactly the same. And I was frustrated. So after I learned that it was a combination of the right types of exercise and a specific type of nutrition, and of course, motivation, right? The people that train you have to be motivating people that really have your best interests at heart. You know, I decided that somebody had to put all those elements together to really help people to make a difference.
Wow, interesting.
And that's where it came from.
I met a lot of people during this, and we're going to introduce folks to those people, some people that have taken the challenge and continue with that challenge. We're going to find out how they do it with everything going on between having families and spouses, jobs, kids. How do you do it? Well, stick around. Spotlight New Jersey will be right back after this break. Welcome back to Spotlight New Jersey. We talk with Brian, the creator of the Max Challenge, and now meet Mark. He's the owner of the Hazlitt location and the one who actually introduced me to the concept. We also have Kim and Ruben here to talk about their experiences. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Good to
Thank
have
you,
you
thank
here.
you.
Let's talk about the program. Now, Mark, you have a story to tell about why you got a franchise in the first place.
Well, my wife made me do it.
We've heard those kind of stories before, haven't we, ladies, right?
Yeah, my wife got to a point in her life where she was putting on a little weight and not feeling that great, and heard about the program, and so came to me and said, "You're going to do this with me." And I was like, "What? What am I doing with you?" I was a gym guy, went to the gym, did all those kinds of things, and I said, "All right," because the only way I know she'd go is if I did it with her. So I started the program. I think the first day I went, I definitely was a little bit surprised.
About how hard it was?
How hard it was, yeah, how it made me feel. But it made me feel good. And as things went on, what I noticed around me was just the amazing progress that people were making, not just physically, but just in their mental state, in terms of their confidence and the way they looked at just everything and their ability to accomplish things they thought they could never do. And as I went through that process, I was kind of at a point in my life where I've done a lot of things and looking for something to do, and I decided this is what I want to be when I grow up, because I've been involved in sports and doing some things with coaching and things of that nature, and it just really fit. And it's been a really rewarding experience since I started.
And since you started in October, you've had some success stories to talk about, including Kim. Kim, I am amazed. We have to show folks your before and after picture, because you started when the Max and Hazlitt opened in October.
Yes.
And let's show folks the transformation. It's just amazing. Tell us how much weight you lost.
I've lost 39 pounds.
Wow.
But a bunch of inches. But probably more than anything, you know, I think that what I would love people to know is that I actually got my life back. You know, what brought me to the Max was my inability to get out of a beach chair last summer. And I thought, there's no way that this can happen. And I started the Max in October, and you know, within a very short period of time, I saw major changes in what I could do and how I felt, and it's just been an amazing experience for me.
But have you ever tried any other diets before, or any kind of? I mean, this isn't exactly a diet. Tell us.
It's not. Actually, you know, people say to me, "What kind of diet are you on?" And I tell them, "I'm not on a diet," and I really, really mean that. I don't feel like I'm on a diet. This is the first time that I've actually seen and been able to maintain success on any type of program. And I can honestly say that I can live like this for the rest of my life, and I never feel deprived, and I never feel like I'm doing anything different than people I'm out with. It's an amazing experience.
You still have dessert?
Sometimes.
Tell the truth.
Sometimes. I'm not really a big dessert eater, but some of the things that I really love, yeah, I still have them sometimes. But you know what? I think the important thing is they no longer control me. I control them, and
Yes.
that I really attribute to the Max. When you're working that hard in the gym, you really want your nutrition to be good.
And we call us Maxers, those who continue on with the program. So you're still going on your journey. Now, Ruben, tell us your story and how many. We've got an amazing before and after of you as well.
I started a little over 2 years ago. Two of my children had been in the program, so they got me involved. One of my sons, who couldn't be involved, helped pay for my initial challenge. I've wanted to be around long enough to see my kids get married and ultimately have grandchildren. In my first year, I lost 90 pounds.
In the first year?
First year, I lost 90
guys,
pounds.
They always are able to just, guys always seem to.
Don't hold it against
Wow.
us. But I've done that in the past. I've had success with other programs. But as soon as I would reach my goal in the other program, I would do the yo-yo and bounce back up.
Right, so what makes this
Well,
different?
here, it's a change of life. It's a way of life. I've kept those 90 pounds off for a year, which is the big part of it. It's a way of life in that, like Kim was saying, we're not doing anything different than the person sitting across the table from us. We're just more dedicated and passionate. And, you know, I go to the Manalapan class at 8:30 every night. And people think, wow, 8:30
I'm
at
going to
night.
clap it up for you. That's one of the things they do, right?
People think
a lot
that
of
8:30
camaraderie.
at night they're getting ready for bed. But what I was getting ready for was which bag of chips would I take out of the pantry and which show was I going to put on the remote. Now I'm just taking a better use of the time.
Okay, terrific.
Yeah, and instead of shopping in my basement where I used to keep all my clothes from all those years, now I could actually shop in a store.
Wow, that's terrific. Those are great stories. And of course, you know, it's tough when you have families and things going on. And so I had every excuse as well. I work kind of crazy hours here from time to time, you may have noticed. So I'm going to share with you my before and after shot. And when we come back, we're going to go through the different exercises that it doesn't matter what level you are at, there's going to be a level that's right for you. So stick around. We're going to be back with more in just a little bit. Here's my before and after. We are back here on Spotlight New Jersey. I'm Sally Ann Mosey. I'm in for Dela Cruz today, and we're talking with folks from Max Challenge. We've talked about the nutrition, and we've talked about the camaraderie. Now time to talk and show technique. And for that, Sabrina and Hannah are here. By the way, Hannah is the daughter of Mark, who we spoke to a little bit earlier. And of course, Sabrina, you've got a history in this area. People might recognize you, correct?
Yeah, I teach in Manalapan, so I teach early in the mornings in Manalapan. So
Okay,
definitely.
terrific. Show us the different techniques, because I know that when I started out, I certainly couldn't challenge myself to the point that you finally do get to. So it's certainly different levels.
Yeah.
Show us.
So it's all about exercise progression and working your way up. So I brought some sample exercises that we use on a daily basis at the Max Challenge, and Hannah's going to demonstrate them, starting with jumping jacks. So level 1 would just be jumping jack with stepping side to side. And then the next progression would be a standard jumping jack, which is together. And then we'd add a next level, which would be a Superman jack, which is adding that extra jump. Another exercise we do is a touch and jump, which starts with a touch and stand. Then we make our way into a touch and jump up. And then the last one would be a touch and a tuck jump.
Before you go much further,
Yeah.
now it's not just one.
No,
I've done
no.
these classes.
No,
you do them until you know, you
well,
get a
it's
good
for time,
workout
for
going.
time, for count, depending on what it is. And we push you to the point of where you feel like one step outside of your comfort zone, but just know that we'll never let you fall.
Okay.
You're always safe. It's always monitored, and everyone's always okay.
Okay, all right. And the next one that you're going to demonstrate is?
Which is a squat thrust. Everybody knows, we see it all the time. So progression of a squat thrust would be just a squat and touch, or a squat. Next would be squatting down all the way, extending the leg at one leg at a time, bringing it in one at a time and standing, and then eventually making your way into a full squatting out, extending your legs, popping back up again.
Now, how many times a week are people supposed to do this?
Well,
And I do know the answer, but you might be surprised to hear.
So the way that it works is we have our cardio days, which are Mondays and Wednesdays. We have our weight days, upper bodies Tuesday, leg days Thursday, and then Friday we wrap the week up with cardio kickboxing. So you definitely see this on a Monday, Wednesday, and strongly on a Friday.
Okay, and you're still supposed to go and exercise, though, every day of the week?
Every day, it's all, balancing it with the nutrition. That's key. But yeah, 5 days a week. Each class is 45 minutes long. You could stay for 1, you could stay for 2.
Stay for 2?
Stay for 2, you can go back to back. It's completely
I've
up to
gone
you.
for 1, I'm done after 1.
But
Keep
it's what's right
going.
for you. And then we finish up every class with a plank. So there's plank progression. First one would just be starting off your knees, keeping your core nice and tight. And then you would evolve into a standard plank, which would be off your toes. Again, core nice and tight. And then level 3 would be adding that sawing motion back and forth. So it always makes it strong. There's always progression for everything. You never top out. There's always a way to make it more challenging for yourself. And that's what we're here to do.
Without a doubt. I had never heard of a plank before. You're not out of breath yet, Hannah. How come? When I do that, I'm out of breath afterwards.
If I kept going, it would be.
You would be. Okay, gotcha. When you get to the plank, I know how it is in our group. We kind of are, you're just waiting for that plank to come.
Yeah.
Tell me, is that standard for every group that's out there?
We finish each class with a plank. When they hear plank, everyone's like, whew. And sometimes people call a plank early in the morning. They're like, plank, and it's like, no, we just started. But it's just kind of like everyone knows they hear plank. It's like, oh, thank goodness we're done.
Now, let's tell the story. My name is Sally.
Yes.
I used to like my name, but now in this particular class, Sally means something.
Sally does. There's a song by Moby called Flowers, and it's Bring Sally Up, Bring Sally Down. And, we use that whether it's a leg day or an upper body day. But basically, it's a choreographed movement to the song. And, with squats, it's Sally down and then Sally up. If it's a push-up, it's Sally down, Sally up. But again, it's just another way to keep the class engaged and everybody just motivated. And at the end of the day, we did it as one, and we finished as one. And it's just overall an awesome experience.
Do you ever feel like you've made it to that challenge where you could do this without any hesitation, that you've actually gotten to level 3 and you don't need to do it anymore?
I don't look at it like that. I look at it as like a feeling of accomplishment. It's like you walk out the door that day and you're like, you know what, I got out of bed. I didn't let my mind hold me back. I did this, and now I can really have an awesome day because I started off right or I finished it off right.
All right, terrific. Any last encouraging words? You have them in class all the time, Hannah. Not much. All right, that's all right. And Maxers call themselves involved in a number of community events to raise money and various worthy causes. We're going to talk with them about that coming up. We're back here on Spotlight New Jersey. I'm Sally Ann Mosey. Max Challenge, very involved in giving back to the community. One of the major events is one called Max Olympics. Take a look at some of the highlights of the event. Now that looks like a lot of fun. I haven't done it yet, but a lot of Maxers go and do it. Tell me what it's about. We're going to start with Brian. How does this get organized and what is it about?
So once a year, we all come together as a group and raise money for a worthwhile charity. So we've done Jar of Hope, which is for Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. We've done children's cancer fundraisers. We've done various different local community
involved events, yeah.
Events that we stand behind as a group. Mm-hmm. And basically we come together and it's like field day for adults.
Field day like the kids have a field day.
Yep.
And you bring your family?
The families come, we have an absolute blast, and we give back to the community. Every penny that we raise from the entry fees goes back to the charity that we select for that year.
And how do you select that charity? What is it based on?
So we try to choose a charity that's based locally in New Jersey, that really the monies are going to go back to help an individual family make their life a little bit easier, a little bit better. And it's amazing because I think what the members find is they feel like they're giving at first, but what we learn is that as much as you give, the more that you give and you show up and you're even just showing support, you're really getting more in return. So that's where it's not just fitness for the body, but people really feel good about themselves.
Absolutely. It's a great idea. I saw a little bit of tug of war going on there in that bit of video. Mark, tell us about that challenge, because you deal with a lot of the folks who go to the actual Olympics, and is that one of the big draws?
Right. I mean, it's really for fun. The whole thing is based on fun. Obviously, everybody likes to get a little competitive once in a while, so the tug of war is kind of the last event that everybody goes to, and it's how we determine the Olympics winner. But like I said, like Brian was saying, though, that really the day is all about getting together as a group, other centers.
What's this we're looking at? This isn't the Olympics, this is the Mutterella.
Yep.
What about the Mutterella? Oh, it looks messy. We know some folks there. Yeah. There's Kim.
Yeah, the Mutterella is it's an event where you go through. It's a 5K event. You run different obstacles. You get really muddy. As a group, we had about 50 people from my center that participated in that.
It's a different charity?
Yeah. What Mutterella does is it supports actually a women's, a battered women's
shelter
yeah.
of some sort. Mm-hmm.
So, and a few other things around that. But yeah, so we had a bunch of people that got together and we ran the race together. We had a good time. It was a lot of fun.
And obviously didn't mind getting a little muddy.
A little muddy, no. It was a rainy day. It was great. It was a lot of good time.
You also do something with Toys for Tots.
Yep, we run various things at the different centers. We'll take like a Saturday, and we'll actually have like a sample class. We'll ask for a donation maybe of $10 for the class, and all those proceeds then get contributed to a different charity. With Toys for Tots, we actually asked people to bring a toy. So we actually ended up with about 3.5 boxes of toys that we were able to donate to Toys for Tots over the holiday season.
So if folks are watching this and they're just really not quite sure that they want to be part of it, they should try one of those sample classes you're referring to.
Absolutely.
And maybe donate to a worthwhile cause.
Absolutely.
How do they get more information about that?
All the centers will post those on their Facebook pages, and we'll blast them out to people that they may know that are going to the MAC so that they can participate. Different centers will also run what we call Friends and Family Week during the
Okay.
course of the challenge, where somebody can come in and take a class and see how they feel about it.
Well, guys, it was great fun. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate that. And if you'd like to find out more about the Max Challenge, log on to my Facebook page, Twitter, or news12.com. I'm Sally Ann Mosey. New Jersey, the spotlight is on you.